Well, did you realise, 48 hours ago, GBTA announced that the spend in China, domestic and outbound, for the incentive and conference and events market alone was $110 billion. $110 billion. And yet, Asia Pacific doesn't really have a tremendous voice on the international circuit. So now let me introduce you to Nigel Gaunt, who is the Chief Executive of ICESAP. Nigel, what is ICESAP and why did you form it?
Okay, firstly, ICESAP stands for Incentive, Conference and Event Society Asia Pacific, and it was really formed to do just that, give voice to a very substantial industry in Asia Pacific that has probably lacked a voice not only on the global stage, but probably didn't have a single voice in Asia Pacific, given that the majority of the incentive, conference and events spend in Asia Pacific, around 80%, comes from customers within Asia Pacific.
Well, we've heard of Amway going down to Australia and to Dubai, but there are some astonishing group numbers that are just travelling within the region.
Absolutely. Recently, Herbalife took 20,000 people from China to Bangkok. These are numbers that are astounding, and I think even in developed markets like North America, it's hard to find incentive travel movements of that scale. Asia has happened as a latecomer. This industry is young in Asia, particularly in the developing countries. Of course, in mature markets such as where I live in Australia, it's been around a long while. But clearly, with these fast-growing economies of India, China, Vietnam, Indonesia, and others, we've got a new industry on our hands, which is of a scale we haven't seen before anywhere.
How sympathetic are they to global standards or best practices? Do they have their own set of rules and regulations within their marketplace?
Good question. Not really. And in fact, one of the main pillars of ICESAP is to develop and launch in the first quarter of 2016 an agency accreditation scheme that actually requires an agency to demonstrate financial stability. We're working with KPMG on that in that piece. Requires them to demonstrate that they have staff and management who have appropriate experience and training, and we're quite happy to actually have them and acknowledge any of the training they've done with existing associations around the world, not just in Asia, but PCMA or CITE or any of these organisations. We're more than happy to acknowledge the education they've provided in the past and encourage more of it in the future. We can't be all things to all people. We want to work with existing associations. I
mean, one of the reasons that the likes of PCMA have this huge outreach program in Asia through SACIOS and other outlets is because there is an appetite to be up to speed if you're going to attract inbound US and European mature client bases.
Absolutely, and they recognise that, and I think that in Asia at the moment they are pretty much being satisfied by domestic demand and, as I said, APEC, if you will, or ASEAN generated demand. The demand from North America and Europe will come back as the economies of North America and Europe come back. But at the moment, they're flat out catering to their own customers. And I don't think they're totally focused on the need to upskill in order to cater to the needs of the mature markets. They recognise the need to upskill for their own markets.
Nigel, in your own personal history, you go back to heading up sales in Asia for Sheraton. This week, of course, we heard about the merger or the acquisition, choose whichever one you want, of Marriott taking over Starwood. What will that mean for this industry?
Oh, look, it's an extraordinary development for the industry and for those two companies. I lived through working for ITT Sheraton at the time of the acquisition by Starwood, and I experienced a period of instability and uncertainty, but it was only a matter of months before we were able to reassemble resources and become much stronger as the joint Sheraton Westin organisations. And I think you'll see exactly the same thing occur again. There's no doubt that the shareholders will look for economies of scale. Owners will look for better management deals of their assets. And obviously, from a customer perspective, you're going to have a very, very substantial hotel business that will have some benefits of scale that will be passed on to everybody.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Marriott Rewards and SPG merge their offers. But Nigel, for now we have to call it a day there. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And nice to have the latest member to the Joint Meetings Industry Council join us here at IBTM World.
Thank you very much.